Welcome to One on One. I'm the guest host here on Pack 14 today, and it is my pleasure and honor to welcome into the studio Jane Schiller Mason. Jane, we got to talk about golf, right? Among other things. We could talk about a lot of things.
Anything you want.
Yeah, good. Oh, all right. Okay.
Well,
I think the main reason that you're here is to talk about your career in golf,
right.
but also the upcoming Pepsi tournament. It's the 58th, I think.
Yes, that's quite a record.
You're the honorary chairman.
Yes, I am this year. I'm very honored to be so.
Well, how many times did you win that tournament?
10.
10 times?
Yeah, well, it's been a lot of years, you know.
Yeah.
58 years.
Yeah. Well, it's at Green Hill.
Right.
And you kind of grew up at Green Hill, didn't you?
I did. I started playing golf when I was 12. My father, great player, Joe Schiller. I have a twin brother, Joe Schiller, and he wanted him to play golf. So I wanted to play too, so he dragged me along.
Now, some people are referred to as natural athletes, and I think that would be true of you, even though you might not say it yourself. But you played a lot of sports in high school. Tell us about that.
Oh, yes, at Y High in Salisbury. Yes, I played them all. I played the hockey and the volleyball and the basketball. Absolutely, that was my favorite.
That
and
was
softball,
your favorite sport?
Yeah, and then I played softball too. Yeah,
and golf.
I played every year, freshman on. I played 3 sports a year.
Yeah. And I read somewhere, I think it was in an article by Wendy Waller, that you scored 1,000 points in high school back then.
Yeah, in my total 4 years, I did. Yeah.
Golly,
they used to call me Gunner.
Gunner Schiller.
That's right.
Well, and you, I read somewhere you were quick and you could fake them out. And
yeah, that's true. That was my asset, you know. And I had a little jump shot. I could do a little hook shot.
Oh,
and that was my best thing. Yeah, I loved it.
And just love sports.
Absolutely, yes.
Then you, after you graduated, you went to college.
I went to the University of Maryland, yes. Graduated there, and then I taught physical ed here at Bennett High School.
And coach? Did you coach?
No, it was
just phys ed.
It was the middle school.
Oh, Bennett Middle.
Yeah, it wasn't the high school.
Yeah. So, but you continued your career in golf.
Right.
Even after you were married and had a family.
Yes, my husband played, Robert Mason, and so that was very convenient. He was a good player. So
yeah.
We enjoyed golf always.
Now, did you play Nassawango?
Yes.
Because you lived in Pocomoke.
Yeah, my husband was a dentist in Pocomoke, and so we belonged to Nassawango for many years. Yes, that was great. Mm-hmm.
I got to tell this story. We were down there. Of course, we were members of Nassawango for a few years.
I remember that.
And we went down there with Donnie and Diane Gillis to play
I know that.
18 holes on a Sunday, I think, or Saturday. And you were practicing in the sand trap as we teed off on number 1.
Oh, really?
So we played 9 holes, 2 hours, and we came around and made the turn. You were still in that sand trap.
Yeah, I always
and I said,
needed to be
I said, Jane Mason has been practicing those sand shots out of there for 2 hours. And Donnie said, that's why she's Jane Mason.
I probably wasn't in there for 2 hours, though.
But practice.
Yeah, I always practiced a lot. I did. I would go to even to the schools, you know, on a Saturday and hit balls. Yeah, I always did.
Did you ever take lessons?
Yeah, I took them from Harry Offit at Green Hill way back in the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and various pros, you know, through the years.
Don't you suppose it's probably important that you learn the proper technique, the proper swing, the hands and everything else early,
Oh, yeah,
or you
definitely.
will practice the wrong things.
Exactly, yeah. Starting young at 12 certainly was an advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, now let's talk about women's competitive golf on the Eastern Shore. You played in a lot of tournaments, even after you were had a family.
Yes.
And tell us about some of those. That must have been
Well,
exciting.
yeah, it was fun. The WPGA is, the Women's Golf Association on the Eastern Shore, and they have a good schedule of tournaments and always have. And I used to play in those, many times,
Yeah.
many years.
What was the most exciting one? Can you remember the most exciting one?
You're going way back. Let's see. Well, I won, some of the championships for that, the Delmarva Peninsula ones. And now I really can't remember anything terribly
But they
exciting.
were all,
But it was always wonderful, and it's there's so many friends you meet. I mean, that's what it's all about, anyhow.
it,
The social aspect of golf, very important
yes,
to me.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think to all of us, to
I
tell
think
you
so
the truth.
too. Yeah,
Because even when our bodies start to fail us,
right.
we can still get out there with our friends in very pleasant surroundings. I mean, golf courses, generally speaking, are well maintained and beautiful, and it's
Exactly.
kind of nice, kind of
Yes, it
fun.
is.
Yeah. So, are you able to play now?
Well, I do have a torn rotator cuff that's kept me out now for a couple months, but I'm
Ooh.
going to start back. I'm planning on playing in the Pepsi, and
Yeah.
so I'm going to,
So you will not only be the honorary chairman, you will compete.
yeah, in the four ball. I have a partner from Chestertown coming, so
Yeah.
we
Is
will
is
play.
that a departure? The four ball, is that new?
Yeah, it is, but it's an interesting thing they're doing this year. They're having the four ball, but they're also having an individual competition along with it. If you want to play in that, you don't have to.
Okay.
So, like, my partner may decide that she wants to play in both competitions, and that's fine.
Yeah. So hopefully you'll get a full field. Maybe you'll have more golfers play because of this new format.
Maybe so. I thought it was a real good idea, and
Yeah, I do too.
it's covered in the USGA rule book, so the rules are all in there, which is very good.
Tell us about the Maryland State Golf Association Women's Division.
Very good. Yes, yes. That was a wonderful time in my life. That was back in 1995 when they started the women's division of the Maryland State Golf Association, and of course the men had always run our tournaments, and it was so exciting to be right up there, a partner and all that, or
Yeah.
a participant. And I was actually the second president of the Maryland State Golf
Oh.
Association Women's Division, and I enjoyed very much as a vice president, helping set up the tournaments and the formats that we would have. And a couple years later, we started the Maryland Women's Open, which was really exciting too, and we still have that today. And
Was that first one at Bully Rock?
It was. That's what
Wow,
it was.
what a course
That
that
was a great course, and that was the first women's open was at Bully Rock,
Yeah.
and that was, I don't know, maybe it was in '99 or 2000 maybe, right in that time.
There are some beautiful golf courses in this area, aren't there?
Oh, in
Do you
Maryland.
have a favorite?
Well, I would probably say Congressional. Yes, that's one. Washington has that, and they have Columbia and Chevy Chase and many more, but
Yeah, yeah.
they're all good.
And you played them all.
I have through all these many years and all the
Wow.
tournaments. I've
Yeah.
been fortunate enough to play them all.
So you can watch LPGA tournament on TV and say, now she needs to put that ball on the right hand side of this because you played it probably.
Yeah, but I don't know if I could do that. But yeah, it's fun to see the courses on. I mean, the players play those courses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the women's division it's not a separate golf organization.
No, it's a part of the Maryland State Golf Association. It's men and women working together for golf, and it's certainly the best way to do it.
And as you say, you make good friends.
You do,
and-
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's such a service for women golfers in Maryland because the tournaments, but those tournaments are still there, all of them. The Maryland Amateur, the Senior Championship, the Maryland Women's Open, and then they have a lot of 4 balls and 2 balls and mid-handicap tournaments. You know, they really have a wonderful schedule.
Yeah.
And you play in courses all over the state.
Yeah.
So, and it has really become a real asset to Maryland women golfers.
Probably most of us, even those of us who play a lot of golf, don't realize what it takes to put on a major tournament like
Right.
that. A lot of time and
It does.
the details of it must be must be a difficult job.
Yeah, it is.
And satisfying though when it all comes together and doesn't rain.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's the biggie. Please don't rain.
I
Yes.
know. Oh my.
Yeah. Well, the committee is big enough and to handle it all, and they love it. I mean, and you know, they love it today. We loved it in our day, and they love doing it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really been great for Maryland.
There's unfortunately been some local golf courses that have closed recently. Our very favorite Nassawango
Nassawango,
just
yeah.
closed.
Disappointing.
Caroline, which is where I first played golf
Yeah.
as a Caroline County boy. I played with my parents, and now Deer Run is closed. I don't know about that course in Cambridge. I've heard it's on,
Really?
you know, teetering. And I know personally that how tough it is to make a financial go because I'm involved at Green Hill. So, and that's one of the premier courses around. And yet
Absolutely.
it's not, you don't just fall off a log and say everything's great.
Right.
You know, it takes work and a lot of work, a lot
Right.
of people. But we have 285 members now at Green Hill, which is a big growth from where we were. But
Right.
anyway, what do you think is the reason for some of these courses closing?
Well, I guess you'd have to say not as many people are playing golf now as used to. You know, there's the kids playing all the sports and everything. I think it's taken a lot of time away from golf for people, and it's expensive, and I'm sure that plays a part too.
Yeah.
In it.
Well, when you and Joe Jr. were growing up, you spent a lot of your summer days at Green Hill,
Right.
didn't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
And because your father was there,
Right.
and others, well, you mentioned Marlene Rainier and Bill Rainier earlier
They
in
were
our
there, too.
conversation. They were, you know,
John.
they just grew
John
up
Porter,
there.
Yeah.
And
Right.
to have that experience early,
Right.
you know.
And well, they had the swimming pool too. You know, that's I guess how we started going down there to swim, and then you know you'd play golf and yeah. I spent my young life there. That's very true.
Well, professional basketball players, professional baseball players, if you look, they didn't start playing when they were 17 or 18. They started playing when they were little kids.
Yeah.
And just kept with it. And if they had the natural ability to go along with that, then they grew into professionals. And so anyway, it's disheartening to see some of those courses close.
Absolutely. You know, looking back, I guess I was fortunate to be in the best time for golf, at least better than what right now, because so many courses have closed, so many tournaments have gone under too, and they're no
Yeah.
longer like the Cumberland Invitational, just Farmington Invitational in Charlottesville. They're not anymore, and
Yeah.
they were so much fun. It's such wonderful tournaments.
Yeah.
Such a shame, but it does show, obviously, that not as many people are playing, and they're not competing like they used to.
Those women's tournaments, do the women walk?
No,
That you can
we
ride?
took carts, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because, well, you mentioned.
Some
you
like the
mentioned-
Maryland State Amateur, you know, they would take a caddy and walk,
Yeah.
and maybe the Middle Atlantic, but you know, for invitationals, I think we all rode in golf carts. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Cumberland and Charlottesville, and
Right.
there's some areas, believe it or not, for those of us on the Eastern Shore, that every part of this country is not flat.
Oh yeah,
But I
right,
mean,
yeah.
you know, for us, Green Hill
Right.
it's I guess 15 feet above the Wycomico River, so it's called a hill.
It's flat,
But
yeah. Yeah, it's flat, right.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's flat.
Cumberland, was pretty hilly, but yet it was built in a valley.
oh, really?
Yeah, and some of the greens were up and some down, but you know, that was, always loved that golf course.
And that's what makes, you know, people say, people who play tennis, Say, man, I played tennis and I enjoyed it so much because I played Hilton Head. Well, really, a tennis court, it seems to me, they look exactly the same.
Everywhere.
But golf courses, my land,
They're different.
they're so unique to each other.
Right.
If they aren't unique, then they're not special, really.
Right. That's
So,
true. Yeah.
Jane, good luck with the Pepsi tournament.
Thank you.
58th. How do people sign up for it? I think Vicki Young's going to tell us how to sign
Yeah,
up for that.
she'll give you those
And
details.
hopefully you have a full field
We hope
of
so.
women golfers.
That would be wonderful. And these ladies have worked so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are bringing it back. They're doing all the right things, and they're working hard at it. Carol Mears and
Yeah.
Vicki, and
Yeah.
of course
Yeah.
Wendy. too.
Wendy Waller. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, and that gives you an opportunity to meet even more people and make even more friends
Absolutely.
through golf.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Wendy's a new friend now. She's a good
Yeah.
friend now.
Jane Schiller Mason, thank you so much for being the chairman, honorary chairman of the 58th Pepsi, and thanks for sitting with us today and talking about one of my favorite subjects, golf.
Phil, it's been a pleasure.
It
I really
has.
enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Joining us in the studio now is Vicki Young, the chairperson of the Pepsi tournament. Welcome, Vicki.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is the 58th.
Yes, it is.
Jane Schiller Mason is the honorary chairman, and you're doing all the details, you and your committee,
Yes.
and you've changed things up a little bit.
We have, going back in some of the history of the Pepsi, it was started in 1967. It's the longest running women's tournament in the state of Maryland. It used to be that it was all an individual tournament and the maximum handicap was 20. And when the economy started downsliding, Missy McLaughlin was the chairman at the time.
Oh yeah, Missy.
Yes, and she changed the tournament. It was a 2-day tournament. She changed it to a 1-day tournament and changed the format to one best ball of 2. So you played as a twosome. So this year we decided we would change it up a little bit more. Not only are you going to be able to play one best ball of 2, but you're also going to be able to play, if you elect to, in the individual stroke play.
So you can be in both.
You can play in both formats.
I see.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, that's neat.
Very unique.
Is
yes.
it still one day?
It's still a 1-day tournament. It's Friday, June the 24th. Registration is at 7:30. The tee time will have a shotgun at 9 o'clock.
If somebody sees this or reads about it in the Salisbury Independent, I know it's going to be an article in there. How do they sign up?
To sign up, they could contact Green Hill or they could email me. My email address is the letter I, the letter M, the number 4, brick@comcast.net. And I'd be more than happy to send them out an application.
Yeah.
We still have this, it's still open. It closes, the closing deadline is the 17th. So we still have time
Yeah.
for people to send in their applications
So there's
to play.
still room.
There's still room.
Is there a maximum handicap?
The maximum index is 40.4.
Oh, so almost any woman golfer
yes.
who has a handicap could play.
Yes.
And it's fun.
It is fun. It's a great day. Of course, Green Hill is a beautiful course, and Green Hill has hosted the Pepsi from the very inception. And it's a beautiful course, a great day. We have a nice luncheon. We give prizes. For the one best ball of 2, we pay 8 places, and for the individual this year, we're going to pay 4 places.
Oh, okay.
So some great prizes, a lot of fun.
Is there a registration fee for this?
Yes, there's a registration fee. It is $80 per person,
Oh,
and the
that's-
checks are made payable to Green Hill Ladies Golf.
Yeah, well, that's a bargain. And that includes everything,
That
including
includes
the
everything.
luncheon.
The
Yeah.
luncheon, the
And
golf, the prizes.
Yeah, wow. And men can't play, can they?
No, they can't. They can come out and watch and do some spotting for us.
Yeah,
but
I have spotted at
You
the
have.
Pepsi.
You have.
You know, that is one of the hardest jobs in the world. If you stand on number 7 and look back at the tee, and you're expecting the ladies to hit the ball and dribble it down here, and all of a sudden you look and They hit them over your.
It goes way past,
Some of these
yes.
gals can really play golf.
They can. We're also having a hole-in-one on number 14. So
On
we've got a car.
Ooh.
So if somebody's lucky enough to get it in the hole on 14, they get to win a car.
Win an automobile. Wow. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, and also, I'm sure there's a lot of work involved.
There is.
Who's helping you do this?
I'm very fortunate. I have a great group of gals on the committee. Wendy Waller's done a fantastic job with publicity. She interviewed Jane. Carol Mears has been fabulous in contacting Jane and, getting everything all set up. Peter Bernstein has helped with the luncheon. Margaret Hinson and Robin Holloway are doing the breakfast. And
Wow. Oh, breakfast too?
Yes.
Breakfast, 18 holes of golf with a lot of really good gals and opportunity to make new friends. Then a luncheon, and you might even win a car or one of the 13 prizes that you've got.
Yes.
That's
It's going to be a wonderful day.
Yeah.
And I've ordered good weather for it.
I was going to say, who's in charge of
hopefully-
that?
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So hopefully it will be
Friday
a
in
wonderful
June,
day.
and oh man, and the course, Green Hill. I played yesterday.
It's in great
and
shape.
It really that Bermuda grass is out there. And
It's starting to come in and get all green, and it looks
do you
awesome.
play the ball down in this tournament, or can you lift clean in place?
Depending on the conditions of the course, because of the fact that we've had so much rain, it will all depend. We may do lift clean in place in your own fairway. Otherwise, depending on, like I said, the conditions, we'll play summer rules where you play it down.
Yeah, but you are women, so there's no gimme putts, and and you have to play by the rules and all that
yes.
stuff.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Gosh.
Yes.
Well, that no need for us men to play in that anyway, because we don't follow the rules,
Well, as a matter of fact, Carol Mears and Jane have gotten together to set up the rules, since we are having the one best ball of two and the individual play.
Yeah.
So we need some very specific rules. So they're on the committee to get that taken care of.
If you're playing individual, you're never out of a hole, right?
That's true.
If you're playing best ball, just best ball, then it could be your partner's there putting for a birdie or a par, and you're
You can
sitting
just
there with
pick
an
up.
8. You may as well just pick up the ball, but you can't do that if you're playing an
Not an
individual.
individual. No, you have to play. You have to play the ball
No
out.
matter how many you hit in the water on number 11, you have to keep. You have to keep.
Yes, you do.
You have to keep teeing it up or dropping.
You have to. Yep, you have to count them.
Yeah.
If you swing at it, you count it.
Vicki, I hope you gals have a wonderful day. I know you will. And I hope you have a lot of players and a lot of spectators, because that sounds like a lot of fun. So,
It's going to be a great day. So.
sorry, tell us again all the details that you just said.
Okay, it's June the 24th. Registration starts at 7:30. It's a shotgun start at 9 o'clock. You can play individual play or one best ball of two. It's $80 per person. And contact me or Green Hill, we'll send you out an application.
Yeah. And includes breakfast and lunch.
Breakfast, lunch, your
Prizes.
golf, and prizes.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be neat if somebody won that car
Yeah,
on
that would be
14?
neat. That would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lori Hall did a good job of securing the car for me. So.
Good, good. That's tough par 3, 14.
That is a tough par 3.
But you don't expect to win a car on an easy par 3. So.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
So Vicki, tell us again, go through the details so we'll make sure we get it right.
Okay, the tournament this year, we're doing 2 formats. One best ball of 2 as well as individual stroke play. So you have the option to play in both. The tournament is June the 24th. Registration is at 7:30. We have a shotgun start at 9 o'clock. There will be breakfast available in the morning. Then we have a luncheon afterwards where we award the prizes. There will be a hole-in-one car on hole number 14.
Great. And you guarantee that the weather's going to be good, and we know that Green Hill is really looking good right now.
Green Hill is in good shape.
That Bermuda is excellent. How is Green Hill doing?
Green Hill's doing great. They have on Saturdays, as you're well aware because you play, they have a group of guys that go out first thing in the
You
morning.
started to say old guys. I know what you started to
Well,
say.
the young guys go out first.
Yes, that's right.
Then it's
yeah.
followed by the older gentlemen and then the ladies. So it's quite a full day on Saturday at Green Hill.
Yeah, it is. That's saying a lot.
They're having a lot of weddings down there as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was one the other day. Almost every weekend.
It seems like every weekend there's a wedding.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes they've had them on Saturday and Sunday.
yeah. If I ever get married again, I think I'll have mine then. No, it's actually my granddaughter was married down there 3 years ago, about 7 years ago. Good golly. But it's a great place for weddings. The pool is a wonderful pool.
Yeah.
Tennis. A lot of good things. As Jane said, she grew up there, and now our kids are growing up there. Maybe it's a different time, but still it's a wonderful place to be.
My husband grew up there.
Yeah, yeah. Vicki Young, thank you for being the chairperson of the 58th Pepsi Invitational. What's the timetable for registration?
We're actually accepting applications now, and if anybody is interested, would like to get an application, they can either call Green Hill and ask for the pro shop and have them let me know their name and number so that I can call them, or they could give me a call. My home phone number is 410-546-4797.
And you're going to close it at a certain date so you know how many.
Yes, the closing date is June the 17th.
Okay. Thanks for taking the time to come in and talk to us, and hopefully you have a full field.
Thank you very much for interviewing me.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. Good luck.
thank you.
And thank you for being with us on this special segment of One-on-One. And we talked about the Ladies Pepsi Invitational at Green Hill Golf Club right here on Pack 14.
First Shore Federal is proud to support PAC 14 and One-on-One. We'd encourage every business to support PAC 14 and pick a program and support it, and let's make a difference.